Hey guys, so this is going to be a short video because before too long I'm actually going to have to go walk into work, but I wanted to make sure to get out that I saw Divergent last night. I went to the movie theaters after work and I went and I watched it, and I just want to give you kind of my initial reaction to it. I might do a more in-depth video later, but I thought the movie was fantastic. It was a great movie, and when it was over, all I wanted to do was run home, which I could have done because my car didn't work. Some of the things that I noticed were different in the movie from the book. The aptitude test scene was shorter. It ends with the dog instead of going on to having if she'll belong in candor with the guy on the bus. When she kind of goes off and they run up to board the train the first time, the way the scene was shot made it almost seem like she was the only person who diffracted to Dauntless. There were a couple glimpses here and there of someone else, but I think that they should have shown a bit more. In the book, there's supposed to be 3 people who don't make it into Dauntless before they even get to the Dauntless compound. There's supposed to be 1 who doesn't make it onto the to the train. There's supposed to be 1 who doesn't jump off of the train, and there's supposed to be 1 that falls during the gap between the train and the building, and she's supposed to die there. That didn't happen. I noticed that Christina was actually shorter than Triss, which in the book it was opposite, and part of why that was important was because when they get to the scene where they're playing grab the flag with paintballs in the book, Christina is supposed to use that as a reason that she gets the flag and not Triss, which causes some issues between them, which I think is in the book kind of shows how divergence can be a threat, or how the people can feel threatened by the Divergent, and so I was kind of sad that that got left out of the movie. Instead, Triss got it, and they both kind of shared it happily, and everything was just fine between them. There wasn't that little conflict, which I kind of missed from the book. With the paint gun scene, they don't actually use paintballs. They use this little kind of futuristic dart type thing that, when shot, kind of shocks through wherever you're hit, makes it feel like it was a real bullet that hit you. Not of the physical damage, but you can feel it. Which I was kind of alright with afterwards. When it first started out, I was like, this is supposed to be paintballs. But it turned out to be much better, especially when you get to watch Eric get shot like that. She gets a tattoo of 3 crows here. It never tells you that that's to symbolize her family, but that's also a futuristic way of how they get tattoos. They just put kind of like a little pad there, and it transfers it into your skin, and it didn't look like it was painful, but with Dauntless, who knows. She does go and see her brother. They don't leave the building to talk, but that's probably just time frame reasons. There's the scene where she goes through Forest landscape, and it is more like he's teaching her how to survive through than just showing her so that she can learn about him. Which was a nice little adaptation for the film. I did kind of miss the part where they're in the box for a second fear of claustrophobia, and they end up having to make the space tighter, and she just has to calm him down, and that's how they get through it. I liked that better in the book, and as soon as I got home, I went to my book and I reread that part. The way that her mother dies is just a little bit different. Instead of running out to distract people so that Triss can get by unseen, she actually goes in as a shield and gets shot and dies that way, which was more sad because she dies in Triss's arms, and it was very sad. And they get to the basement, and part of what I absolutely loved in the movie was that when Triss sees Marcus for his father, she sees him, you can actually feel the hatred for him dripping off of her. And I loved that. I loved that very much, because she just glared at him with complete disdain anytime he talked to her. She answered his questions and did what she was expected to, but she made sure he knew that she knew that the hatred was there, and I loved that. That was fantastic. That was probably my favorite part about the movie, because I hate Marcus too. Another little difference is that when she gets caught during this battle scene near the end, she's supposed to get put into a tank of water, the tank that slowly fills that's in her fear landscape. It's supposed to be Eric's idea that Janine can compare a real life reaction to the sim reaction for this sphere landscape and see what that does. And it didn't happen in the movie. They just, her mother came in and protected her, and that was probably for time reasons, but I was expecting that, and I would have liked to have seen her real reaction to being in a tank filling with water versus the fear landscape of it. And the final difference was at the end of the battle, she's supposed to go through the Dauntless compound and find 4 by himself controlling everything. Instead, there's lots of erudite there and erudite, and they're controlling everything, and they just have 4 kind of as an extra bodyguard in case somebody gets past all the other bodyguards. And they have their little fight scene, which was nicely filmed and well performed and everything. And he finally wakes up, and she sees that he's awake, and she tells them, "Hey, we're surrounded," and go without everyone else realizing that Tobias is no longer under the serum that they made for him. The final serum isn't very well explained. You're supposed to know that it's long wave transmitter and it controls your body, what your body does kind of thing, instead of just putting you in a mindscape. Part of what was great in the movie was when she shoots Eric. She shoots him in the leg, just like in the book, which just made me happy. And then she gets to the compound and she finds Peter, and he knows where everything is, and he says, "You won't shoot me. Why does everyone keep saying that?" And she shoots him. I love that she shot both of them. It was great. So, and with the erudite being around the hard drive and everything, she actually injects Janine with the serum, putting her under simulation, and uses her to shut everything down and wipe the program so that it can't be used again. Unless, of course, Janine makes another one, which she can perfectly well do. So yeah, it was a great movie, and it really, really pumps you up, and it really did make me want to run home because she does so much running and has such joy in the running in the book. And when it ends, you feel dauntless. So it was a great movie. I definitely recommend anyone seeing it, whether you've read the books or not. And it's a great trilogy. I got through the whole thing in 5 days, I think. I had like a day and a half on each of the books. So, great movie. And I just went through the things that were wrong in this video. Everything was really great. Even the things that they left out, I could see why they left them out, and it didn't make the movie worse. It's just me nitpicking. So, I have to go walk off to work now, so I'll see you guys later. Bye.